Alrighty. Hello, 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 everyone. Hope you all had a good weekend and are still having a good weekend. Hope you all enjoyed your week and just feel motivated, inspired, and all of those good things. Today, of course, we'll just be doing a weekly reading for the week that is coming up from Monday through Friday, just for a little bit of guidance, a little bit of observation of what to expect, what to look forward to, what to look out for, and things of that sort. Of course, we're going to go ahead and get started with your emotions and just what to look out for the week in itself, especially with the full moon in Scorpio being on the 23rd. We're definitely going to want to take a closer look and inspect that a little bit closer as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and spirit, what emotions should we look out for the week on Monday through Friday? What should the collective look out for this week in regards to emotions, feelings, and energy they may be receiving and or getting? Anything else, Spirit? What emotions and or energy should the collective be looking out for this week? Anything else the collective should be looking out for this week? Alrighty. Let's make sure it's visual. Alrighty. So there we are. This is currently what you should look out for and or look forward to in regards to your emotions. I'm going to want to expect. I'm going to go ahead and read them as they came out, especially since the last two are mental clarity. So the first one that we have is physical emotions, which is, again, something that affects the physical in a way that feels like it's weighing on your body. It can be a pressure point. It can be a thought. It can be how you feel like you should act in or react within your body. In itself, it's like the nervous system. And this one is accepting. Okay? Accepting is the state of being fully aware of a situation or circumstance without trying to control, judge, or change it. Emotional acceptance is a cornerstone to redirect our energy and resources into a productive path. Helpful crystals for acceptance expand the ability to practice non-attachment and make peace with what is happening. Okay? When you accept something, like I said, it's taking the sense of reality in all senses. Remember last week it was about disappointment and irritation and just feeling all these emotions and then having that calming and loving energy coming into you. This is about accepting the things that possibly made you disappointed, the things that possibly made you anxious, the things that possibly made you irritated. It is realizing like, okay, this is what happened. This is how it affected me and or how it could have affected me. And I need to accept it. So that way, like I said, I can actually move forward in a productive way, right? You ever made plans or did something and then later on you're like, I wasn't really feeling that at the moment. I should have thought it through, or I just was trying to do it because it's just a means of, after I realize everything, after you realize why you're possibly disappointed or irritated, you have to realize I'm accepting this person for who they are, this situation for who they are. And I'm speaking from personal experience because something made me irritated on Tuesday, and I was just so irritated. And I talked to my friend, and they were like, you just have to accept them for who they are. You know exactly how they operate. You may even know why they operate that way, but now it is a means of you accepting that. And once you accept that, you realize that they are operating in themselves, for themselves, and within no regards to you, whether that is a good thing or a bad thing, right? It is accepting that without trying to control it, without trying to control their actions or reactions, without trying to control the outcome. When you actually feel these emotions, you are actually able to get to the root of it. Like I said, actually understand, why am I feeling this way in the first place, and how can I navigate moving forward so that I don't, and know that I can recognize, and now I can actually situate myself in a way that is progressive. Okay, again, practice non-attachment to that. Their issues, their problems, their projections, their worries, all of it is that I'm accepting it. If I didn't get the job, I need to accept it, because why didn't they accept me? Everything looks good on my resume. That is a them thing. If this didn't work out and I didn't get that, is a them thing. It is a realizing I cannot control what other people decide to do and or not to do, but I can control how I feel. Sorry, how I react to the feelings that I'm getting because of that. Okay, this isn't a physical emotion. If you cannot accept it, you start acting out in a way that is not accepting it. It can be sly or snarky remarks. It can be you pushing somebody away or doing extra things. It can be you just like, fine, I'm just going to accept any job. I'm just going to accept any relationship. I'm just going to go ahead and take it in. That is not accepting things for what they are. That is you just giving up. There is a difference from accepting something within your physical self and realizing this has nothing to do with me. Like I said, non-attaching and making peace with what has happened versus you just like, oh, fine. It is what it is. Those are two different things. So once you take into that realization, it's like I said, it allows you to expand on the ability to practice that. Okay? So crystals or emotions that can help with accepting things for how they are is amethyst, Hittite, Halidor, and Kunzite. Okay? Again, accepting things as they are. I could not control this. Now I can actually take productive steps of where I need to go, because when you actually accept things, here comes the mental clarity of being inspired, right? If you're like, why didn't this work out? Why didn't they say this? Why didn't this go this way? Why? This needs to happen. This has to go this way. They shouldn't have done that. They shouldn't have did this. I wouldn't have done that. You are stifling your mental from being inspired, from either inspired to have a creative solution, inspired to heal yourself, inspired to push yourself in a different direction and realize, you're right, that job didn't accept me because there's something else better out there for me. I didn't really want that job in the first place. I was just trying to take it. Or, you know what? That relationship didn't work out. That is fine. But there's no need for me to judge that person for what they decided. I'm just going to keep it pushing and moving on. Once you actually truly accept things for as they are, this is what is happening. You can take the facts. You can take that information. You can take the truth. You can take the actual reality that you are in. Like I said from last week, the actual truth of the situation, the reality, because feelings do not equate facts. The judginess, the emotions, the hurt, the pain does not equate the fact of this is happening. What are we going to do now? You can still feel your emotion, but it's hard to feel your emotion when you're not accepting that this is the reason why you're feeling the emotion in the first place, while you're feeling distraught in the first place, while you're feeling confused in the first place, worried, while you're feeling disappointed, anxious, any of those. You can't be inspired to move forward and be productive in that if you're not actually accepting that that is what it is. Okay? It says inspired. Like the arrival of springtime, which we are in, when nature is actively budding with new life and fertility, the feeling of being inspired encapsulates a clean emotional slate. Inspiration frees us from past limitations and a plethora of potential lives within its growth, undoubtedly propelling us forward. Okay? Again, it is all about moving forward this one and resources into a productive path. You are redirecting that energy, right? Versus accepting it is what it is, and now you're making things, making decisions off of it is what it is versus, okay, this did happen, but how can I make sure that I'm in a right situation, that this doesn't happen again, or if this does, I'm not around people when it does. Okay? I'm not in that mindset when it happens. It allows you to be in a different state. It allows you to realize, okay, this is a new ground. This is a new foundation. This is my seeds that I planted in the winter years ago, months ago, coming into fruition. I have to accept that. I have to accept that this re-navigation, this step back is now a step forward. It is propelling me forward. It is allowing me to grow within myself. I'm now inspiring myself by the life that I'm living, right? If you look at it, at a situation that possibly made you disappointed or irritated this week, you're like, I handled that completely different. That is also accepting something. You didn't do everything the exact same way that you thought you would have, right? That is also accepting something and being inspired by your own life for what you want now and in the future to actually do something. And that allows mental clarity, that allows a better thought process, that allows better planning, that allows better motivation and integrity in the sense of I want to do for me what I feel like is not being done. And I want to do it in the best possible way so that way I can continuously move forward and grow. Okay. The next one that we have for this is Tibetan black quartz, celestial quartz, and picture jasper. Okay. These are going to help you with being inspired and keeping that mentality clear so that way you can realize that there is a silver lining. There is an upside to this. There is strength in this. There is a better foundation in this. I have to accept it so that way I can actually like, okay, this is, let me put it all together. Because if not, it can lead to insecurity. You accepting can lead to either you being inspired or you being insecure with feeling like you're not possibly making right choices or things of that sort. Okay. So once you accept this physical emotion and how it may weigh on your body and then weigh on your mind, allow yourself to alleviate that. Okay. Insecurity emanates from a lack of self-confidence and may occur when we are harshly judged by ourselves or others. Remember, in acceptance is without trying to control, judge, or change it. Okay. Or from embedded emotional wounds of the past. When we are feeling insecure, it indicates a real need for self-love and care. Okay, we need to find a way to banish negative self-talk and self-doubt and our dependency on others. Okay, that is something that is inside of you. Like I said, if you are not willing to accept the state, it literally says the first sentence, acceptance is the state of being fully aware of a situation or circumstance. Once you are aware of it, you can be inspired to make changes, or you can be aware of it and be insecure and judge yourself, doubt yourself, put yourself in a circumstance and be like, damn, I allowed this to happen. I'm so stupid for this. Why the fuck did I stay so long? Why did I stick around? Why do I keep going back and forth? Why am I keep up doing this and doing this and doing this and this? That can cause insecurity versus fully accepting it and realizing that it has already happened. I can be inspired to make some shit shake, make some shit move, or I can be inspired to be even more insecure. And now I'm making steps steps that are supposed to prepare me forward with the new energy, then a new start, the climax of it all, the new spring, the rejuvenation. And now it's making me insecure because I feel like I'm doubting the choices that I made. I feel like I'm doubting the people that I have around me. I feel like I'm scared to make these moves or these decisions, or I don't trust myself. And that is in a means of the 666, taking a step back, refocusing, realizing, taking all the information in to 777, then move forward with confidence, with understanding, I got this. And if I don't, it wasn't supposed to come, it's because I wasn't supposed to happen in the first place. Spirit is speaking quickly. They're speaking quickly. And it makes sense that they're speaking so quickly. I'm stumbling on my words because the last reading that we got, it says you need to get off your ass and move. You need to start doing something. And they're just like, you cannot be so insecure in your own life because that is a means of being insecure in yourself, your decisions. It makes you even insecure in your own intuition. Feel like you can't trust yourself. And that causes you to depend on others, feeling like they know better for your life than you know better for your life. That, well, I mean, I guess I'm taking all of what they're saying to heart. They must know. It's just you have to realize that no matter how involved somebody is in your life, they are still on the outside looking in. You can live with them and they're still on the outside of your life looking in. And that's coming from somebody that grew up with siblings. I live with all these people. And I still am on the outside looking in with their life when I was growing up. Because it is a means of nobody knows what you want, what you truly desire in the darkest hours, in the brightest of the fucking days when you are thinking. And you are just either meditating or concentrating or you're just sitting there like, what do I want? That is your thoughts. So when you start taking care of yourself and realizing, okay, I can't control what has happened. I can't control them. They can't control me. Right? And if you start thinking of, oh, I need to do this, and you realize and shift that they can't control me, why am I trying to control it? And just because they're judging me doesn't mean I have to judge them. I also don't need to judge myself. I also just realize I can't change the past, but I can use the past for a better change in the future. Okay? So we have carnelian, larimar, Sapphire and Morganite, okay? These are what we want to look out for. If something happens, and or something has happened, especially like I said with the full moon in Scorpio coming up, that is going to be so many revelations coming in. And we're still currently in retrograde for Aries at this moment in time with all these conjunctions squaring in Pluto. And Saturn is just taking a moment and realizing, I cannot take all this information as truth, because sometimes people get the truth. Sometimes people continuously to show you who they are. And it becomes insecure because, like, why did I do it? Is it my, it's a means of realizing I'm accepting that I have this, but I don't need to hold on to it. I don't need to grasp it. It is not going to allow me to be anywhere. Like I said in so many readings, you're trying to hold on to all this stuff. Then when it's time to actually pick up what you do need, your hands are full with the bullshit. Versus you accepting it and releasing it and letting it go and going, let me go about my day. But it does not mean to dismiss your emotions. Use that emotion that you're feeling in your body, in your mind, to allow yourself to push you forward to find exactly, like I said, the root of what could possibly be causing this. Why do I feel like just because I have it, I got to spend it? What is going on? Why do I feel like just because I have it, I can't spend it? I have to stock up. I can't do anything fun. Where is that coming from? Where you feel like you can't live your life? Where are you coming from where you're just like, well, you know, maybe they're right. Maybe I should start doing this more. Maybe that I make people accept me more or enjoy my time more. It's just like, do you even want to, though? It's a means of looking inside and accepting things, right? And accepting people for who they are. Realizing some people are always going to judge you. Some people are always going to project onto you. And it's a means of, am I going to remove myself or I'm going to work with them continuously to correct them? Right? Am I going to take into revelation that maybe this is why they're doing this? Do I want to stick around because I know why they're doing it? Or am I going to remove myself for the betterment of me? Is this the job I want to stay at because they're paying me so much money, but the way that they treat me, man, I know that they might fire me the next day. It's certain things where you have to accept it and then allow yourself to be inspired to grow, to move, to go forward. Okay? Versus being insecure with what you have to accept. You have to be fully aware. But you can't be fully aware if you're insecure because now it's coming from a place of doubt. And insecurities lie to you. They lie to you and make you feel like this is it. This is all. This comes from somebody with chronic depression. And it's just a means of recognizing this is not it. This is not all. No, I'll pass on that. Let me work on me. Because me working on me allows me to accept myself fully with full awareness. Okay? Spirit, what should the collective look out for this week? What do they need to know? What do they need to understand? What truths need to be revealed? Yes. Neglecting intuition. What did I say? When you are neglecting your intuition, you can't accept things for what they fully are. Right? You have to understand that, oh, I knew this. I've been in this. Well, like I said, with the situation happened this week, it's just, stunned, but not surprised. Because tabula rasa, which means new start, clean slate, new beginning, which also is the card for inspire, which is about new starts, new beginnings, the springtime. But if you are neglecting your intuition, it's going to be quite hard to start again in a new spot if you are neglecting the awareness of what is going to take you to get to that new spot, take you to get to that new position in that new place, okay? Oh, now hold on now. I ain't had a card fly out, and then not y'all got this card again, and it flew out, baby. It flew out. You are a magical ass being. Act accordingly. 777. Again, releasing that fear, following your intuition, trusting yourself, trusting in your gut, and recognizing, I am who I am. And the thing is, people think I am who I am is a means of saying, oh, I've always been this way. People say I obviously get used to it. Sadly, I used to say that when I was a child as well, like an actual child. I used to say that. What is the means of, if you are who you are, that means you can change who you are at any point, at any time, and in any moment, because you are magical. And magic is not something that can be capped the same way that love cannot be capped, because as long as you are inspired with the truth, with the acknowledgement, with love, with self-care, it allows you that new beginning. It allows you to follow your intuition with your whole heart. Okay? Oh, ancestors displeased. Your ancestors do not like when you neglect what the fuck you know, what you understand, and what they are putting in front of you. It does not make them happy, especially since it makes it seem like somebody put a spell on you. Okay? We have put a spell on you. And it means that people think somebody actually has to do witchcraft. Somebody actually has to put your name in a jar. No. Somebody's saying something to you and throwing off your day, like I said, with the last card, homostasis, it just disrupts you. Like, damn, I'm pissed off, I'm irritated. That is putting a spell on you. When you're like, I don't get why this isn't happening, you're pondering and over your mind. Why didn't they give this to me? Why didn't that? I'm good. I should know. This should happen. That's putting a spell on you. When something is ran on you mentally, it causes you to be insecure, like somebody put a spell on you. Like somebody put your name in it. When it's just a means of the spell that they put on you, it's just what they projected, what they thought, what they gave to you. Or sometimes the spell is the truth that you just can't seem to handle, that you just can't seem to grasp. And you're trying to find, maybe this is what they meant. Maybe, no, that is also a spell. Take the truth and accept it. Because if not, then it causes you to stop yourself from getting what you truly need in that new beginning, because you're neglecting yourself. And it pisses off your ancestors because they were here before you and they loved you so that you can be here, so that way you can create new cycles and break old ones and allow yourself that movement. But if you're allowing somebody to say and or do something that disrupts your entire day and your movement in that, that is somebody putting a spell on you. That means that their words have more power than your words. Their energy is getting, they're siphoning your energy for a better empowerment of theirs. And is allowing you that. Okay? So you need to take that in. And that realization just comes from you fact checking. I'm realizing that I'm pissed, but why am I pissed? I'm realizing I'm hurt. Why am I hurt? I'm realizing I'm feeling neglected and not seen and not heard. Why am I feeling this way? I'm realizing this is not working out for me. Why is it not working out for me? These feelings are supposed to lead you to something that is going to guide you to actually allow yourself to realize who you are. But if you're trying to fact check with feelings, you're not actually fact checking. You're trying to make sure that you are still coddled and you can still be taken care of and loving yourself and care about yourself while still looking at the facts. Okay? We have give a little, get a little. 666. What I say, 6 is taking that step back, reflecting on all of those lessons from the past and realizing, okay, this is where I'm going to go. I do not need to neglect my intuition, because I need to give a little bit of understanding, to get a little bit of understanding, give a little bit of questioning so I can get some answers. Give a little bit of love to myself so that way I can get it from others and the things that actually truly serve me to love myself in the first place. So once you give that little bit, you're going to get a little bit. Okay, take that step back and realize, because if not, it causes your ancestors to be displeased because you're not giving yourself anything at all. And it's hard to pour into yourself, inspire yourself, change yourself for the new beginnings, the brand new start, that spring equinox, that spring energy, if you're not giving it to yourself at all. You're giving all your energy away, right? You're giving all your power, your energy, your mustering, and it's hard. Because they recognize that you're powerful, but for some reason, you're not recognizing it, okay? So you need to recognize that. Accept it. Accept what disappoints you. Accept what hurts you. And allow that to have better conversations. Like, I didn't like this. This can go this way. I didn't. Allow yourself that. Because this can place you in a completely different world. Tabula rasa, new beginnings. Placing you in a completely different world. But you have to start with giving yourself a little bit of grace. Giving yourself that calming energy, that loving energy. Giving yourself things to be inspired by and inspired with. That is what's going to cause a different world. That is what is going to cause your ancestors to be pleased and ready and prepared. Okay? So allow yourself that. Allow yourself to take those moments. Sit down, reflect, meditate. And like I said, meditate is not just, let me sit here, because not everybody can do that. Especially for my neurodivergent babes like me. You have to. Right? Taking in that moment. It is something for that self-care. the self-recognition in yourself. How are you going to accept all these things happening to you as guaranteed, as facts, as this is what it is? And not take this, okay, this is what it is, and fact check. Okay, I did that right. Okay, well, maybe I need to twist it and realize who the hell I am. Maybe I need to give a little bit, and I'm going to get a little bit. But if I give a little more, I'll get a whole lot more as well. Okay? Because what you are expecting right now is a pregnancy. Now, this can be an actual pregnancy. This can be, again, inspired, the pregnancy of ideas for a new life for yourself, a new thought process for yourself, a new way of feeling and believing. Am I going to be more vocal? Do I need to be more quiet? Do I need to meditate more? Or maybe I need to sit down and be a little bit more calm? Like I said, some of us is being a little bit more active. Some of us is taking a step back, but it's causing a different world for you. Because right now you have a pregnancy. You have a baby you have to look after. Right? And if we're thinking about it in terms of kids and physical, or again, like I said, spiritual, for an idea, things of that sort, they soak up everything in the embryonic fluid sac. They're soaking up everything. They're soaking up the music that you're listening to, the way that you talk, who you're around, the environment that is also going to nurture your pregnancy, right? Are you taking your prenatal vitamins? In physical, are you taking your prenatal vitamins of I'm sleeping on time? I'm moving my body a little bit. I'm drinking more water. I'm eating a little bit better. Are you taking care of the pregnancy of the idea of I want something different for my life? I want something new for my life. Or are you continuously neglecting your intuition, allowing people to put spells on you, thoughts in your head, taking your energy, your time, your day, knocking you off your steeds to the point that you are displeasing your ancestors because you're not actually fact-checking what you need to? You are pregnant with something, and it needs to be in a place that it can actually grow, and you need to nurture it. But it's hard to nurture it when you're feeling insecure, that you're not actually taking care of your baby in the first place. Okay? Anything else the collective needs to know for this week, Monday through Friday, coming up, Spirit? Anything? Sha. Anything else before I close it out, Spirit? Anything else before I close it out? Anything else, Spirit, before I close it out? Speak now for the collective. That's too much. Okay. All right, anything else? Alrighty. Okay. We got stop looking for love in the trash. Yes. You cannot make somebody see your worth, whether that be a job, whether that be family, whether that be friends, anything. Even the insecure thoughts in your head, I'm hearing, that is also looking for love in the trash. From like, if you do these old things, how it used to work, and things like, it's not going to work. Because that causes you to neglect your intuition. You're not truly looking at what you did in the past, how it truly worked out or didn't work out. You are allowing yourself to be so neglectful to what you know is right, what you feel in your gut, that you can be making yourself so sick. Making your lineage sick, making your lineage pissed off. Like, why the hell did you do that? Why? And it's so funny, because it's this means of when you do that, they gonna give you a little and you gonna get a little, because you're giving them a little. When you follow your intuition, it allows you to realize this goes in recycling, this goes in trash, this can be given away, this I'm going to keep. It allows you to truly decide what is needed and not needed in your life. Right? But when you don't, you're continuously looking in the trash. You're continuously looking in the giveaway bag, and you know you ain't wore that shit in years. In that sense, it's stop looking for love in places where people are discarding it in the first place. Because that's exactly where you're putting your love now. You're putting your love, your emotions, your time, your energy, your words, all that in the trash. Because that is what you're putting your energy, your thought, your mindset into. Instead of realizing that that is not how that is going to work. Because in the end of the day, it is your problem. Because you are the problem. When you are in your life, no matter if it was self-inflicted or not self-inflicted, you are still going to be the problem that is going to have to solve it. And it's going to sound crazy as shit, but let's just take me molested as a child. I do. Not saying I'm the problem, but I have to realize that when I'm acting out in a way that is because of the trauma or the hurt that I felt, that I can cause myself a problem. When I can realize this can be a new start. They don't have to put anything on me. Then I don't have to think about them. I need to put myself in a new start. Or I can be the problem in realizing I grew up and, not really that close to a lot of people in my family, but I can be the problem in my current relationships by not showing up in a way of not realizing I'm in a different world. I'm in a different mindset. I'm in a different environment. I'm in a different completely body. In a sense, I'm not there anymore. There is no longer a spell on me because I'm not around that mindset and I don't want to be and I don't want to hold on to it because I am the problem because I am the only person that can solve it. I heard, you can only help people that want to help themselves. It is really the truth. Because you can only help some people if they want to be themselves. Some people will use those things as an excuse and they are still causing problems in their life. And so there's problems in other people's lives as well because they're not realizing who they are, which is the magical as being, and fact checking that this shit that they did really fucked me up. And I can either navigate in a way that is nurturing something new and beautiful for me, or I can piss myself and my ancestors off by neglect my intuition. Okay? And sometimes all you need is that 333. Again, it's coming up. 333 is about balancing your mind, your body, and your soul. And not neglecting one for the other. Realizing that I'm doing this, my career is great, my financial is great, this and that, but your sleep schedule is off. So now your eating schedule is off. And so now your body is suffering because of it. And the first one that we got was a physical emotion, which is why are we not able to accept it? It's maybe because we're not actually listening at all. We're not in balance with our mind, our body, and our soul at all. We can't communicate, and the reason why we can't communicate is because we're neglecting ourselves. We don't feel like it's a new start. We're not acting accordingly, which is pissing off our ancestors because we're allowing things that people have said and are done or that we have said or done to put a spell on us that we're holding on, that we're repeating it. I guess I am this, I am that. They did say this, I'm going to always be this way, instead of fact checking that I'm only giving a little bit of myself, and so I'm only going to get a little bit. When I can realize I can place myself in a different world, in a different mindset because of this. Ancestral communication is coming in. Come in through songs, and come in through this reading. It can come from somebody else. It can come from a dream. They are always communicating. Just because they're displeased doesn't mean that they're not going to help you out. Okay? You need to recognize that. And sometimes with that recognition, it is a means of shadow work that is needed. You need to go back into yourself. Like the Insecure said, you need that more self-love and self-care. That is shadow work. Because only your shadow can be illuminated by the light that you are finding within. And if you're not able to find that within, you need to realize maybe you're neglecting something within in the first place. Maybe you're looking in places that aren't going to actually help you. And you need to. Maybe you need to start journaling. Maybe we need to start meditating. Maybe we need to start running. Maybe we need to start going outside more, even if it's just going outside and walking around your apartment complex or your house for like 20 minutes. Just allow yourself to take that in. And when you actually get to a point like, oh, this is why I do this, do not run away scared. Recognize exactly what it is and take it, because once you recognize and fact check, that is also shadow work. And accepting it, it's not realizing you have to deal with it, or else it is going to become the problem, and you are then going to turn into the problem. Okay? All right? Jesus. Feelings, again, do not equate facts. You are feeling something so that way you can dive into why you're feeling it in the first place, and that is always going to lead you to the truth. The alignment of that. Your feelings are valid, but what makes them invalid is you being dismissive of why you're possibly getting there or feeling that way in the first place. Right? Take that in, which is why it says you're the problem. Because if I didn't take it in like, this is why I don't have good relationships, and it is what it is, I'll always be that way, it would have been just my feelings of feeling that way. And not the actual fact of, well, you could do this a whole lot more, or you could say no a whole lot more. Whatever it is that you need to do, says feelings do not equate facts. Because you're taking it in as this immediate emotion that your body is taking on, which is why the first one was physical. Your body's immediately taking on, then your mental's going to take it on, and that is leading to the 3-3-3 imbalance. And it makes it a lot harder to communicate to you or for you to communicate with yourself. Because you feel like that is the end all be all. And there's supposed to be a new start, a clean slate, a new beginning because of who you are. So give yourself a little bit of time. Give yourself a little bit of grace. Give yourself a little bit of patience. Give yourself a moment to sit in those emotions and then allow that to lead you to, okay, what happened that led me here? And how can I navigate if it is to happen again? And or how can I navigate so that it doesn't happen at all? Right? So taking that in, like I said, I realized with all this is just this need of the reason why I have intimacy problems. In a lot of words, because it was I was molested and then it was denied. And this is means of, that can cause me to be a problem with not being intimate with people that don't have any harm or ill will towards me. Okay? Feelings do not equate facts. The feeling, the emotion of somebody is going to harm me or hurt me or things is not the fact that they haven't, but the environment that I set up for myself. So taking this in, taking this moment is realizing you actually have to nurture that baby. You have to nurture it positively because 555, the only thing that is constant in your life besides living and then dying is change. Even if you lay in bed all day, I say it all the time, your body is still changing. Which is why when people lay in bed all day, they have to be constantly cleaned and turned because them just sitting there is still causing bed sores, it can cause infections. Your body is still moving. It is still changing. It is still growing. But are you willing to grow with it? Are you willing to allow yourself to have that means of development for yourself to have that growth, like the inspired card said, to be inspired by what has happened? Right? Some people are inspired, what do they call it? The revenge body. I'm inspired to piss off this motherfucker so much to make them regret that. You realize why you're feeling that way. They fucked up, and now they find out it's a means of inspire yourself to crave something that is powerful that you can give birth to. Not trash that has been discarded and thrown away, something you can give birth to. Not giving yourself excuses to continuously be the victim, but giving yourself a chance to truly create a different world that is better than you could have expected. Okay? And the only way to do that is to speak the fuck up. Speak up for what you want. Say it out loud. Put that into action. That's why I say get up, get moving. Speak the hell up for yourself. Right? And it's a means of, even like with me saying no more, we setting boundaries more, we thinking about it, I'm thinking, and then actually going there, because it's a means of, I'm going to need to do what I need to do for me. Right? Whether you like it or not, because at the end of the day, I have to deal with myself. I have to deal with the fallout of decisions I made and have not made. And that also allows you to not neglect your intuition. It allows your ancestors to be pleased when they weren't able to speak up for themselves at all in any circumstance. When they were neglected that. When they were denied that. When that was beaten out of them. Allow yourself to speak the fuck up for yourself. Because this is a different world. This is a whole different situation. Your ancestors are committed and they want that because they want this constant change to be something that is powerful and beautiful and magical. So start acting like it. Start acting like you want change and acting in the mindset that change is already here and happening. Okay? Because if not, it'll seem like your insecurities are showing. Right? It is your insecurities. I had a conversation with my roommate and it was just like, no, I don't want to go, this and that. And we were talking and they had to realize, like, I realized it's the reason why I was upset with you is because I say yes to a lot of things and you don't even think about it. And it's a means of not saying that they were insecure, but it's a means of them taking a step and realizing this could have been something that could have been an insecurity. And me saying no and they don't. And that could have been a reflection of myself. So taking that in and realizing, my insecurities, me denying myself of doing anything can be from an insecurity. No, that's okay. I've always been told, I'm not that it's a means of that can be showing. And that can be why you're not giving yourself the grace and the patience. Why you feel like people put a spell on you. Because you're denying yourself. And that spell can just be the own insecurities of that. right? And this is the second time we got insecure. So this is something where you really need to tap into that shadow work, or why you don't feel like you love yourself enough to act like who you are. If you don't care about yourself enough to even give yourself a little bit of grace, patience, or work. If you don't admire yourself enough to realize the inspiration that you have, which is a pregnancy growing in your body so that you can start a new start. Your insecurities is because of your feelings, and you're not actually diving into your feelings and not realizing that your feelings can change, people can change, circumstances can change. Don't allow this to show and navigate your life, because then that also, like it said in the first card, can lead to projections on other people by judging them and yourself. I'm feeling this way, and it's really not that, and it's just you not being able to accept things, right? Even when we're talking about body positive, I accept and love my body as it is now, and it is ever, forever going to change in front of my eyes. But if you don't accept where your body is now, you're constantly going to feel like, I'm not where I need to be. I'm not where I want to be. This is, But when you accept, like, this is my body. I love me. This is the way it wears clothes, the way it hugs it, the way it's loose on it, the way, whatever it is, versus your insecurity showing. And somebody that deals with that, like tugging at your clothes, worried, looking around, it comes in different ways. But when you speak up for yourself by wearing those clothes, maybe by applying for the job that you feel like you're not good enough for, by actually speaking up in that meeting or during that group conversation or whatever it is. And for some of y'all, I'm hearing sometimes you need to shut the fuck up. That's what I'm hearing. Shut the fuck up so that other people can speak the fuck up. Because when you take their voice as well, because you feel like they ain't gonna say it, I'm gonna say it. It causes them to allow that dependency, which causes even more insecurity, because if they can't speak up on their own, whether you're around or not, that is shadow work that needs to be done. And that can cause them looking in the trash, and that can cause other things. So shut the fuck up and allow other people to speak for themselves. And also on another note, y'all coming in quick. Shut the fuck up so that when people do speak up, you know exactly if they're putting a spell on you or not, right? You can exactly know if your answer is going to be, no, that ain't right, which is why I set it on top of this card. And the reason that you shut up so that you can also fact check, like, that don't sound right. That doesn't sound accurate, because you told me this, but you did this, and then that happened, so that's not lining up. The math is not mathing. So sometimes speaking the fuck up is for you to actually speak up and be more vocal, and sometimes to shut up to allow others to actually speak up and be more vocal in their own life, especially if they're there and they're present. And if they're not speaking, then maybe they just don't want to say anything, and allow them that. Or maybe just shut the fuck up and allow them to speak so you can hear what they're actually saying. And is it lining up with their actions? Is this actually what's going on? Is this lining up with the actions that I want to go to? Right? So just allow that to come in. Because at this moment in time, we also have separation and relocation. You need to separate from people that make you feel, separate from people, environment, things that make you feel like you need to neglect your intuition for a new start. You need to neglect your intuition to start again, to begin anew. Your intuition is going to lead you to that new beginning. You need to separate from those people, like I said, that non-attachment style, not holding on everything into you. Allow this separation because of who you are. You need to get away from those thoughts, those ideas, those people, that environment, because it is causing you to do things that is neglecting yourself. Separate from that so that way you can actually have a new beginning. And sometimes it is a means of relocation, right? Some of you are moving and are thinking about moving out, moving away, whatever it is, but that is going to cause shadow work, because where are you going to go? Are you only feeling like you can relocate because of your feelings? Are you actually, okay, I'm feeling this way, but I also got the facts from why I'm feeling this way. I did my shadow work. I'm realizing that I need to change my life. I need to relocate. Are you doing it because you're like, okay, I did the shadow work and I'm just feeling all these feelings and I'm leading by feelings, so I need to move because the only constant is change? Taking that realization, and that only comes from not neglecting your intuitions, which is why it starts that way. But since the only constant is change, and you are who you are, you can change and make that at any point and at any moment, right? And I just want to make it clear, because it keeps ringing in my head and I don't want nobody to get confused. I am not one of those people that things happen for a reason, in the sense that, as I brought up the molestation thing, people do not come on earth to molest kids. So let's get that clear up. I'm saying I have to deal with the fallout of the trauma of that before I become a problem to myself or others because of that. And it's maybe, you know, problem with them. That's the beauty of spirituality is I ain't gotta forgive them fuckers in order to forgive and love and move on for myself. And that is exactly what happens. So when you realize, because sometimes I'm hearing right now as I'm putting my cards away and closing out for everybody, I'm hearing sometimes people like, if I don't forgive them, then I ain't gonna never. Why? Allow yourself to forgive yourself. Love on yourself. Care about yourself. Give yourself that moment that you need. Okay? Because that is what truly matters. If you're neglecting yourself, it's because you feel like you're not worthy of actually listening to yourself in the first place, which is also why they want you to meditate and do that shadow work. Go outside, breathe, start journaling again, doing art again, maybe sleeping in a little bit longer, whatever it is. Maybe making yourself a couple of meals, doing what you need to do to get back into realizing I am birthing something. For some of y'all physical, for some of us spiritual. But I need to actually nurture this baby because they're soaking up everything that's happening in my body like a sponge. And I can either hold that in with me or I can release it and allow myself to be inspired and even more accepting of not only myself but of other people and the decisions that they choose. Okay? So, that being said, that is the reading for the week from Monday to Friday. Again, keep in mind that the full moon is happening on the 23rd. Hope everybody enjoyed the 420 yesterday. And I love you all, but love yourselves more. Until next time.